You know, some people would look at in the kitchen. I bought a bunch of garlic, and there was already some there. I don't know if I didn't realize or what, but I bought some more. So there's probably like, I don't know, between 5 and 10. What do you call it? The whole bunches of garlic. So, but you know what? Garlic is cheap. You know what's not cheap? What's expensive is high glucose levels. Get your garlic, you know, and don't be afraid. Is kind of the lesson to spend on things that are going to benefit your health and well-being, and you know, and don't be worried about what people say or think about it. It's more important to have the garlic there, and I actually haven't been taking it lately either, but I'm thinking about getting back to it today. More valuable to have the garlic there you're going to take every day or use than worrying about that you spent too many 99 cents on bunches of garlic. What's it worth if you didn't have it there even one time that you could have used it or would have used it, but because you had this mindset of scarcity, which some have, you didn't have it there at all, you know. So you not only didn't have a lot of it, you didn't have it there at all. So maybe for the whole day your glucose is higher, you know, or maybe it goes on for several days or weeks, God forbid, you know, because you didn't buy enough garlic. It's kind of silly, right? Or you just didn't have garlic there for our intents and purposes, right, in this country. So it's really the simple things. It's really the little things you do and the mindset you bring to the table that can keep you getting consistent results. And of course, discipline. People talk about discipline and that kind of stuff, but a lot of that comes with the mindset before you even have the discipline. If you have the mindset, you're going to have the discipline. If you don't have the mindset, it's going to be hard for the discipline to carry or to really even have the discipline at all, because you don't have a mindset that's conducive to having discipline. So it's one of the things that we're looking at doing and working on, and maybe even offering, is just kind of having conversations and just kind of digging in kind of concisely but really quickly but really effectively into some mindset things that can release you to be not only more productive and effective in your workouts and in the gym and in your fitness goals, but that can carry over into all kinds of things, right? That can carry over into life. And you don't need constant coaching, you know, to do these things, to get these things, to get these ideas, these hacks, these perspective things, these wisdom, really, right, is the principal thing. And all of us can benefit each other with whatever we've learned and whatever we've acquired in terms of wisdom and understanding. But some of us have garnered or acquired wisdom in specific areas that are beneficial immediately to people, not only in those areas, but in the more expansive. So in other words, for example, you have like a carpenter or a mechanic or a plumber or somebody in a various trades. Maybe some of those trades are very specialized, even more specialized than I mentioned. And you have a wisdom that on how to do that. Now, some of the principles you might be able to apply there as well too. But generally speaking, the technical part of that wisdom is probably not going to be applicable in a lot of things. But the things of what it takes to be effective in fitness and in the gym and with your nutrition and the character and the ideas and the techniques and the motivation and everything that's involved in becoming more fit and more healthy, and doing it in a healthy way too, by the way. That's a big caveat. Not just getting more fit, but doing it in a healthy way. All of those things you can apply in massive ways to your finances, your jobs, your career, your business, your family, your, you know, spousal, your interrelationship with friends. I mean, it just starts to carry over into your whole life, really. Once you get some basic principles in place and you practice them and you grow in them and you become stronger, and I'm not just talking about stronger lifting weights, you become stronger mentally. You have more fortitude, you have more grit, you have more tenacity, you have more ability and capacity, even in your brain, to work through things that are difficult. You know, most people, for example, Baruch Hashem, thank God, have been very blessed to not have suffered a lot of tremendous injuries. But most people in the first year, in the first 18 months, most people almost regularly, at least minor injuries. I looked this up. You can look it up on Google. Most people that are into weightlifting deal with at least minor injuries. You know, and so what that means is you have to overcome adversity and setbacks and difficulty and find ways to adjust at times, or find ways to deal with yourself, even not being able to train. I mean, you have to everything that's involved in that, right? So those adversities, those difficulties, you know, there's a verse that says, "Count it all joy, my brethren, when you fall into various trials, knowing that this trying produces in you," and it goes through these various character attributes, right? These various attributes. So the adversity and the difficulties we face are actually sometimes a huge blessing, because they get us to become stronger and more resilient and more to grow as a person, you know, and we don't wish it upon ourselves, you know. If anything, you know, I pray to be kept from it, kept from evil, and we want to live lives of good and blessing and peace and tranquility. But if it so comes, to deal with it with faith and with confidence and with strength and with character, and not just suffer through it, but really benefit from it, right? Really grow. Like, without grief, in every grief there's reward. So, you know, there's nothing we suffer or we have to suffer for naught. You know, we can overcome and rise above the difficulties. So anyway, I hope you listen to this. Hope you enjoyed. Subscribe, share. Let me know if you want to have more of this kind of content. And hit that like. All right, guys.